Yo, welcome back to the Nerds with Glasses podcast, your number one gaming podcast on YouTube. I am your host, Knowledge.
And I'm Javi. We're going to be giving you guys just a heads up. It's been a week, and we're going to be talking a lot of spoilers right now for Star Wars.
Yeah, so completely spoiler full. If you have not watched the movie, then click on the next topic or click off this video or whatever.
Just click one of the annotations. Yeah, one of the annotations, and go ahead and choose one of the next topics. We're going to spend a little bit of time on this.
Yeah.
Go
Star Wars, baby!
Go into detail what we liked about it.
We're back.
So we're going to pause we're just going to stop talking right now. Go ahead and stop it.
Okay. You got your chance. All right, so yeah, first I want to just give our general impressions. What'd you think of the movie overall? Like, was it good? Did you enjoy it?
I enjoyed it a lot. I liked it a lot.
Okay, for me, I thought it was a good movie. It's better than the prequel trilogy, than all of them, and like I think it's bordering great, depending on how things like turn out.
Definitely like a 9 for me.
Is it? Yeah, for me, it's like a 8.5.
Well, this is just comparing it to like Star Wars movies. Like overall, maybe like of all movies of all time, it's like an 8.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
But like in Star Wars, for me at least, it's like a 9.
Okay, I get you. I
or at least bordering a 9.
Yeah, I would say because like if I were to rate them, then like I would say like Empire is a 10, New Hope and Return of the Jedi are like 9.5s, and like this one's like a 9. I could run with that. But yeah, just as a movie in general, it's like an 8, 8.5. There's stuff that bothers me about it, but there's a lot of good stuff about it. So I think what we should do first is just give our positive things, and then at the end we'll nitpick it. But I mean, we're gonna nitpick it. We love the movie. We like the movie. Yeah. It's not.
It's just for just for the conversation.
Yeah. Just like I mean, there's stuff that I think they can improve that I would enjoy personally. Other people might not, but you know, it is what it is. Everybody has their own opinion. All right, so overall, good stuff. For me, I'm gonna start off with I love the new characters that they brought in.
There's a lot of characters.
Yeah.
Okay, so who would you consider a main character? Obviously Rey.
So Rey, Finn, Kylo, and I guess kind of BB-8 is like a little side character, but good. I don't know.
BB-8. Granted, these two, Captain Phasm.
Like the Nazi, like
the
general,
the one in silver.
Yeah, okay.
Granted, there wasn't a lot of her, but I'm sure.
Oh yeah. You know what? They're criminally underused. I thought that she was gonna be a main character.
Yeah, which I'm assuming she still is. It's just that in this movie she didn't get a lot of screen time. Hux was really good, and then Snoke was pretty good. I mean,
he was pretty good. I mean, it's a hologram.
Yeah, you know, he's kind of like the dark side kind of Yoda, because he seems completely kind of beat up. You know?
So yeah, the characters are good. Obviously, the main ones though is Kylo, Finn, and Rey. With Rey, there's just something about her. I don't know what it is, but I find her extremely fucking attractive. Like I don't know why, because I don't think she's traditionally like a beautiful girl, but she's just, I guess her confidence in her, like it's just something about her. I like her a lot. Finn did not almost the complete opposite character of what I expected.
I think what a lot of people expected. I think a lot of people were expecting him to be kind of like they were expecting him to be the big deal, like he says himself. Yeah, they were expecting him to be something in the Resistance. Yeah, they didn't think he was gonna be like an actual stormtrooper, like from birth kind of thing. Yeah. Like his story is really tragic.
Yeah, it really is, and like you root for him because of that. You know, even
he's also really naive, which I love.
Yeah, and that's why, like, even though when he's doing stupid stuff or he's doing the wrong thing, you're just rooting for him. Yeah, he's a really good, and he's the classic stereotype, or not stereotype, but the classic I can't think of the word, but it's like the character that fits into this mold. Okay. Of like fish out of water. Like
something that's a really good point, because that was his first battle. The opening scene was his first battle ever. Yeah. And Poe basically kind of sets off all the events that transpire, because Poe shoots the.
Is it his first battle ever? And it is,
because he was part of sanitation.
Oh, you're right.
He was part of sanitation. That was his first battle. Because remember, he said, it was my first battle and I chose not to kill for them.
You know what? I did not catch that. I remember the sanitation.
Well, I think I watched it more than you are.
Yeah, I only seen it once. You watched it.
Yeah, this is gonna be. I'm gonna hopefully watch it. I've watched it twice now.
Okay,
3 times with my sister.
Okay, so for me, I remember the sanitation part because that's a funny thing with Han.
Yeah, but
yeah, I didn't catch that. It was his first battle. Okay,
and Poe actually shoots because the way it kind of looks is like they were all going into battle, or whatever. Poe almost shoots him.
Yeah.
Poe almost shoots him, but he shoots the stormtrooper right next to him.
Yeah.
Which probably most likely is either he's like an also brand new, or he could be like kind of like his mentor. Yeah. He could be someone like an older veteran
or a good friend.
Yeah, exactly.
He was affected by it, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah. Because he definitely was either just like someone just right out of the ranks with him, or it was like one of kind of like, because I assumed they would let the stormtroopers out not all by themselves, brand new. Yeah, they would have someone like to follow, like a vet, like a one that has experience. So he does, and then Finn kind of like, what the hell is going on? Yeah, and that sequence was really good.
And he's constantly put in those situations where he's just like that classic character of doesn't belong there, but just gets through everything by pure luck and by pure not luck, but also by his own like guile, his own.
Yeah, because that scene, another scene with him was when he first sees Rey, he's gonna go help her. She handles herself, and then she rushes him down, which was one of my favorite parts of the whole movie.
He's like, I was like, oh shit, like she's
fucking booking it towards it, but whatever.
She's so sexy.
Like you can see how, like, even though he is kind of like this fish out of like water character, you're saying, when they're in the tent, like he knows he's trained. Like you can tell he's trained. Yeah, he's just like not always the best options he does. Yeah. But you saw him when he heard those the TIE fighters? Yeah. He heard them and was like, all right, oh shit, we need to leave now.
We're gonna get the hell out of here. He's a really good character, and I was honestly surprised because I mean, we don't see anything in the trailers. We didn't see anything about him.
What he does, we see him a lot.
Yeah, but like every scene in the trailer is like him taking a helmet off, like breathing heavy. That's like the whole, his whole character. So I'm really happy what they did with him. The little romance thing between him and Rey, it feels natural. I like their characters. I don't know if they're gonna lead into that. But
I don't know. I kind of felt like romantically. I don't know if they're gonna do anything.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know if they're gonna do it. I think there's hints of it, but they can always back out of it.
And it would be fine either way.
Yeah, I think it'd be fine either way.
Because like. It's just funny that like when she first met him and she's like, oh, so you're part of the resistance, and you could see her eyes like just seeing someone from out, from not. Well, I guess she would see a lot of people from
I mean, Jakku. It's a spaceport.
Yeah, exactly. But I guess because according to what we know, Jedi and the Force and the Sith, I am assuming, are kind of like a legend now. Yeah. Even though it's not really that far after the Return of the Jedi.
Yeah. It's like 30 years later.
Yeah, it's not that far, so it's kind of weird that like literally it seems like everything has been wiped from the history.
Yeah, what I mean? But I mean, like I think we talked about this before, and I could understand in places like that.
Yeah, where true, exactly. Yeah, but I'm just saying that brings a lot to like she's only heard about these things, and she knows about the resistance and stuff, and you could see her eyes brighten up when when she thinks he's part of the resistance.
Yeah, like she gets this glint into her
he sees it too.
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, like
of course, like resistance. We all look like this, except some of us don't.
He's funny. Okay, and then the third big character, Kylo Ren. I love Kylo Ren when he has his helmet on. Not so much when he's a whiny, angsty teenager. Even though I don't think he's a teenager. I don't know how old
he is. Yeah,
but like,
definitely. We were talking about this, how when he first comes out, he looks like such a beast. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like
fucking beast mode. Godlike.
The first thing we really see him do with the Force is stop Poe's blaster. Yeah, and completely immobilize Poe.
Yeah, and not just stop the blaster though. It's very stylized and like it's like clinging. It's like being resisted constantly. Like
and all this while looks distracted.
Yeah, like while he's doing something completely different.
Yeah, granted he's not fighting, so maybe he wouldn't be able to do the same thing while he's fighting. Maybe it doesn't take that much energy, but it looks like it does.
it's like I said, like we don't really know how the Force works. Like maybe they can just like create like a like a force field and it's just being, because you know I was thinking like, you know, Darth Vader, it was just, he was just like blocked.
Yeah, but it's like, and I was saying like, yeah, he just blocking them out, but it's one thing deflecting something and one thing completely holding it. You know?
But like I said, we don't know how. I'm assuming he's constantly has to.
No, yeah, exactly. Obviously, he does, but it's just crazy like that he's able to just like. Yeah. Not only stop that, but you know, also hold what's his name completely immobilized.
Yeah. So he's a beast. He's in some ways, right? He's a beast in some ways. Now, I guess we'll talk about it more in the negatives, because there's some stuff that I don't like about his character. But just in general, like his look in general, I like it. Even without the mask, I think he's not supposed to be like super evil looking. Yeah, and he doesn't. Yeah, you know, he's supposed to be Han and Leia's son. Yeah, you know, granted, I mean, he doesn't really look like either of them, but he has the hair. Yeah, yeah. He has Anakin and now Luke hair. Like his hair is amazing. You know, that's probably why. That's probably why he left in the first place. What? Chewie was taking all like the hair products. Yeah, you know? He's done with it. Like, I'm done. I'm done with not having my own hair products. Yeah, no, dude. But yeah, his helmet though. Fuck that. His helmet is fucking beast. Yeah. The voice is beast.
It's, you know, obviously very reminiscent of Vader. Yeah, but not Vader.
Not Vader, but obviously it's done by design by him, the character, and by J.J. Abrams. You know. Other things that were great about the movie, personally, I thought the effects were amazing. They didn't feel super CGI. Of course,
it is all CGI pretty much. You know?
Of course, but still, it felt very natural. It felt like a lot of practical effects were used, which it just gives it that real feeling that the prequel trilogy didn't have, and that the original trilogy did have. I love that about the movie. Okay. I don't know, how did you feel about the effects?
Yeah, there was one thing just in the beginning, like this is just nitpicking, not a bad thing though. Yeah. BB-8 looked very weird when he's walking next to Rey. That was the only thing though. Okay. Like, that was the only time where I was like, I don't know, it just looks weird. Maybe that wasn't even CGI though. Maybe just because everything else was, he looked out of place.
Yeah, I get you. You can tell, like it feels, you know. Speaking of BB-8, is another character I didn't mention, but yeah, BB-8 is fucking funny, hilarious, great robot. Can't wait to see him interact more with R2. Like,
well, yeah, that's what I'm very curious where the movies are going, because R2, C-3PO stayed back, but R2 went with Rey. Yeah. To find Luke.
And where did BB-8 go?
He stayed with Poe. He's Poe's. Like, yeah. That's who he is. That's who he belongs to. You know, so maybe we'll see him in Rogue Squadron or whatever.
Rogue One?
Rogue One, thank you. Yes, I was thinking about the game. But I don't think they would do that to a character, like, because he is kind of like our new R2.
Yeah, you know? Yeah. This generation's R2. Yeah. That's what Jar Jar was supposed to be. I mean, not a bot, but like you know, the companion.
Companion, no. Sorry. Stop. I should have just left it at C-3PO.
Yeah. You should have just ended it there. I'm sorry. Yeah, so that... Okay, how did you... I also liked how they handled the older characters. Specifically Han... And Leia. Chewie, Leia, and Luke. Okay. Those are the ones we're talking about.
I didn't like how they handled Luke, just because there wasn't enough.
Yeah, and honestly, like, but that
lasted too long.
Let's just talk about it.
Let's just talk about it just a little bit. Just a little. Okay. That stare down was just.
Yeah, that's like one of those, like, it makes for a great movie moment, but you're just like, are you just gonna stand there for 20 minutes?
I don't know if you noticed it, but like, so he's looking at her like this, right? Yeah. And then it goes to her, and then it goes back to him, and it looked like he was looking off, and then went back again. Yeah. Like, I don't know if you caught that. Like, it just looked like he was staring, and then he like did a little, and then when it came back to him, he did a little movement. I was like, just walk over and pick up your lightsaber. Yeah, or just pull it back.
That's what I thought he was gonna do. I thought he was gonna pull it and like, and then it was gonna end. Then it was gonna.
That would have been the best way to end it.
They see ideas. That's what they needed.
Well, no. J.J. Abrams good. He did a good job.
He did a good job. I'm just saying that just pull the lightsaber.
No, because then we would ruin the movie.
There's no way we could keep it secret. Even if you sign the non-disclosure agreement.
And then we would change things that we think would be good, and then it's like at the time they're like, this is a good idea, and we look at it, we're like, what did we do?
So yeah, I like how they handled Han. And Chewie, Leia was, I don't know, she wasn't bland. She wasn't in there enough either.
I mean, exactly. Her and Luke were not very. I mean, the parts that it showed her, it was just her and Han, which was good.
Yeah.
You know, kind of getting like not really seeing what happened to the relationship.
Yeah.
But seeing them like they don't hate each other.
Yeah, they don't.
Something went wrong.
Yeah.
And it seems like it was something dealing with Ben, Kylo.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we know that.
Yeah, we know that. Sure. So there's but we just don't know what went
exactly.
Because it seems like whatever. Because it's very weird. Because the movie makes it seem like Kylo turned because something with his dad.
We'll get to it.
But anyways, yeah.
That's gonna be a big section because we're gonna talk about the good things, and then we're gonna talk about like holes in the plot. Not holes, but not like holes, missing things.
Like things that we like not that they don't make sense. It's just that we need more information.
Yeah, before we can even say
now.
Yeah,
you know?
We have to wait another 2 years. What else? What else was good about it? Oh, there's one of the main things for me that I really liked about it is that it had a lot of humor and like. I just think that's what the prequel trilogy just took itself way too fucking serious. Like there is no lightheartedness. No. I mean, tell me that wasn't supposed to be the lighthearted part. Obviously, but you're right. But like,
but shut the fuck up.
Yeah, but I thought we agreed not to say that name. The name that must not be spoken. It had like I love it's Poe, right? Who's Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
And he's like, Kylo Ren
talk first.
Do I talk or do you talk first? How does
like the way he says it though is sort of like scared but not scared kind of thing.
And it's just like
trying to be sarcastic but
breaks the ice right away. Yeah. I love that. And there's so many like standout funny moments that I just remember like when Kylo is fucking flipping out and destroying.
He turns. Oh, okay. No, he takes out his lightsaber. The BB-8 had gotten away.
Yeah.
He left on the Millennium. Fuck. How do you? I can't.
Millennium Falcon.
God, I can't pronounce it right now. Yeah, but he left on that, and he was flipping out. Granted, he didn't know it was a Millennium Falcon, but he was just flipping out because he lost the droid.
Yeah.
And it was the most nice looking bad guy I've ever seen.
Yeah.
In the general that had to tell him, he was so scared, like sweating, you know. And Kylo whips out his blade and destroys a computer next to him.
Yeah.
Keeps going for like 5-10 seconds. Stops. Puts his lightsaber away. Anything else? Looks back at him and it's just like that was hilarious. Yeah.
See, no, I was thinking of a different one.
Oh yeah, you're thinking of a different one.
I'm thinking of the one when.
But I'm just saying in general. His outbursts were hilarious.
Yeah, whenever he went fucking full emo and just like destroyed rooms, like that's perfect. Because like the other one was he's destroying the room after Rey gets away, and then like the two droids, there's troopers, right? 2 troopers are coming.
Stormtroopers, yeah.
And then they're like, they look at each other like, oh shit, he's like, and they don't say anything, but it's like it's one of those things where it's like it happens all the time. So they definitely not something that not something that surprises them. Yeah, so they're probably just like, hey, Kylo's fucking mad again. Like, let's fucking go. And then the other one I remember, just random moments are funny. Is I love when Rey is telling Finn to stop grabbing my goddamn hand. Like, so they're trying to run away.
Yeah, my favorite part is like when he's like knocked out. He's knocked out. Fucking, got blasted. Granted, they both did.
Yeah.
Rey's there, all fine. He's like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Bro, you're on the floor."
Like, you're the one. What are you talking about? Shit. Yeah. No, it had a lot of humor, and I hope they keep that. Nah, and see here's the issue. We just read. Which I knew earlier, but they're gonna have different directors, so I wonder how much that's gonna affect, like the kind of continuity. It wasn't a problem for the original trilogy though, but the thing is, George Lucas was always there, even though he wasn't directing. I think he was basically co-director. He was always there to. So, I don't know. I hope they keep the humor because that was one of the biggest things.
Yeah, and it wasn't a lot of humor. It wasn't like. Fucking Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, no, but it was enough to just keep it like kind of lighthearted until the moment came where it had to be just like hardcore drama.
I mean, one part that I still found funny, but I didn't think was needed, was when Han was like, remember?
When to who?
To Finn, when they were looking for Rey, and he's like,
oh, okay,
like, what's this? Like, like it was funny, but I don't think that was needed. There was like, I mean, it's fine that it was in there.
Yeah.
Because there was the other part where Finn is talking to Captain, I don't know her name. Phasm.
Okay, yeah.
But the silver stormtrooper, and he's like, I'm in charge now. You know, like
I'm in charge. Like I can see that one not being necessary because they didn't build it up too much where like she was commanding him.
Right, exactly, and that's what I'm saying. Like those two weren't needed. They were fine. Yeah. They weren't. I don't think they were any bad. It was just like they were going for a lot more humor.
Yeah. So hopefully they keep it. I think it was good for the movie overall. So. I think that's it for the good. I mean, there's a lot of good, obviously.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not that it was a good thing, but I did like... It's bad to say like, but the way they handled Han's death, I did think it was good.
Yeah, okay.
They handled it well. I know many people probably don't agree. But
I mean, like, it's one of those... I know what you're saying. It's like, if you're going to do it, it's a good way, the way they did it.
Yeah, because the whole time, as far as we know... we don't know what exactly happened with Kylo and why he's evil.
Yeah.
We got a little bit from Han that he said that there was too much Vader in him, so maybe they saw it from the beginning.
Yeah.
And then Leia kind of like contradicts back by saying like no, she enforces that by saying that's why she wanted him to train with Luke. But at the same time, she contradicts it by saying like no, it was Snoke.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know what really happened. Kylo, when he's talking to Rey on the chair, which he loves that. He loves watching people sit in that chair.
Yeah.
Like, I think Poe and Rey were both asleep, and he's just sitting there, you know? But, so he talks about Han and how he was a bad father.
Yeah.
And granted, we don't have much to go on besides his word.
Yeah.
So, because when Leia and Han were talking, it didn't seem like there was a bad family life. It seemed like he was involved until Kylo left, until Kylo turned, but we don't know.
Yeah, see, well, all right, let's get into this now. So we're done with the good.
Well, no, I'm finishing off the kill.
Yeah.
And then, you know, and then that whole like kind of speech, like he doesn't know, like he's torn between both sides, which is how we tell.
Okay, so that was my thought with this whole Han thing was, okay, I don't see Han being a bad father in the sense of him being like an absentee father.
Right.
Like I think that he was there, and I agree with you. I think it's the exact same thing. I think Leia and Han's relationship fell apart as soon as Kylo turned, and they couldn't handle that as a couple. I mean, if it were a real life situation, like if your son became a murderer or something, like it would tear apart a family. That makes sense to me. But of course, from Kylo's perspective, he makes it seem... Well, I mean, and it's subtle. We don't get any moment where he says he's a bad father. He just says, you'll be disappointed.
There you go. Thank you, yes.
You know, he tells Rey, you'll be disappointed.
Right.
So
just to like finish off that whole kind of like speech between them was very sad.
Yeah.
You know? And it was very like symbolic that the sun went out as soon as he was about to kill him.
Yeah.
You know? Because I forgot who says, as long as we have light, there's hope.
Yeah.
I think it was Poe. And as soon as the light went out, both Rey and Finn looked back to the sun, and that's when Kylo kills his.
See, I didn't. Well, since you saw it, I didn't notice that, and that's if that's true, then
I don't know. That's what I mean. I'm assuming that's what they meant.
Like, I mean, it's symbolism, obviously. Yeah. So like, as soon as the sun went out,
the fact that Poe was the one that said like, as long as there's light, there's hope.
Yeah.
You know, or something along those lines.
Yeah.
I was like.
Let there be light.
As soon as like, cause I had, you know, I was like, shit, that's gonna happen right now. Like it felt like that moment, you know.
Yeah.
And then when I saw the sun go, I was like, fuck,
it's over. It's over. I mean, for me, like I think everybody, as soon as he started walking on the bridge,
the bridge was a telltale.
Yeah, it's done.
You know?
He's dead. That's it. It's just a matter of time of when it's gonna happen.
That is true.
But still, I mean, they did such a great acting job because for me personally, there was that moment where there's that doubt in Kylo's eyes.
And just watch it, and then just pay attention for that the sun going out.
Yeah, and then I need to watch it again to see that. Yeah, I mean, but there is that moment where you see Kylo, and like you're kind of wondering, is like, does he want to? He wants to turn back to the light. You know?
He wants to be dark.
Yeah,
he wants to be dark. He wants to be full dark, but he knows it because he does it in that speech talking to Vader.
Yeah,
he says that, you know, it's still in him. He can still feel it.
Yeah,
you know, and Leia says she still feels it.
Yeah,
I'm sure maybe at that point she doesn't feel it.
Well,
anymore.
I mean that's what I'm saying. It's like there is that little glimmer of hope there where it's like, yeah, he wants to be dark. He wants to be a badass. But at the same time, he still wants to be a good person too. So I just thought it was well acted because even though I knew he was gonna kill Han, no matter what happened, I feel like Han might have been able to sway him, and I just think that just speaks to the acting job that they did there.
Because you could, I mean, he seemed kind of remorseful until Chewie shot him. Yeah, you know what I mean. He was thinking about it, and then Chewie's like, no, because you know, Han's hand, you know, over his face. I don't know. I just thought it was well done for how they killed him off.
And what's the name of the actor? Is it Donald of Kylo's actor? I think it's. Just look it up while I talk. But yeah, I mean, he did a really great job after he killed him too, because I think he said thank you, and like his voice had this like such a sense of relief, you know, like and it was just him. Adam Driver. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say Donald Driver. That's like another actor. Oh, okay. Adam Driver, and like his voice just has this dark sense of relief, like. Oh man, it was really powerful.
Like I mean, because you don't like Kylo without his mask, or like I mean, and I guess I can see that. Like I said, I definitely like him way more than I did. Yeah. When he was like kind of like showing his rage, you know, kind of like very not immature. I don't know what the word is, but something like he's very like I guess. In the dark side, he's very green. Yeah. Like, if you know what that saying is. And if you know what that saying is, like, someone that's very green is someone that's new to it still. Yeah. You know what I mean?
He's still getting, you know.
He's still, like.
Feeling his way out.
And unfortunately, like, if you think about it, he has one of the biggest shoes to fill. Yeah. As movie franchise goes. Because I'm sure there's someone stronger than Vader before, you know what I'm saying?
Well, and not only that, though, like, Vader, but just the Skywalker legacy, you know? Just the whole Skywalker legacy in itself.
So I mean, like I know some people had a little bit of like he's like you, like they didn't they didn't really like that he had this angst.
And part of that is not his fault. Part of that is fucking Anakin Skywalker's fault. Because if I never would have seen the prequel trilogy, I don't think it would have bothered me. Okay. But I'm just thinking like Daddy didn't love me. Oh, like you know what I mean? That whole like fuck just. Grow a pair and
which is a good thing. Like, I don't think it's daddy issues. I don't think that's what it is. Yeah. No, that's what it seems like. Yeah, that's what it is. Which kind of sucks because it kind of destroys that point. Anyways. Yeah. But hopefully this is the first movie. It's setting stuff up.
Exactly.
So he's definitely not a Sith Lord. As we can tell, because he needs more training. Yeah. He's a master of the Knights of Ren, whatever that means. Honestly, I have no idea.
So let's talk about some of the plot stuff that I think is... See, so here's my argument. Is like, I think this movie can be great after we see the other ones, because there's a lot of questions left up in the air, and I don't think that's a bad thing. Mm-hmm. I think that, of course, it's the first chapter. Like, there's a lot of stuff that you still need to find out. So some of the things is like, okay, who are the Knights of Ren, and how did they come to be? Mm-hmm. What is Kylo Ren's position there? Like, is he revered as
I think if I'm not mistaken, Snoke says you're the master of the Knights of Ren.
Okay, so that's one thing, but we still don't know anything about them really. Mm-hmm. What are some of the other things that we need to find out? Like, where has Luke been? I mean, obviously we found where he was, but the thing is, like, what the fuck has he been doing? Yeah, they mentioned that he was looking for the first Jedi temple. But why, and what is that going to do? How does that affect anything?
And it's one of those things, like, the light side has like a hard time, because it's not like he could have stopped Kylo, you know? Because I'm pretty sure even right now at Kylo's point in the Force Awakens, Luke is probably definitely stronger than him. Oh yeah. So he could have taken him out at any point, but that's not how the light side does stuff. Yeah. Yeah. You know, they'd rather let it fester, get stronger and whatever, and then find a way to take it out.
It's very, you know what, too, and it's very Batman-esque in the senses that, like, if I kill, then I become a killer.
Granted, so, I think he does kill. I mean, the light side does kill people.
No, I'm not saying that. Okay, you're just saying... But what I'm saying is the principle of if I take him out...
Before he turns.
Yeah, then I'm no better than a Sith. Then in essence, that's the whole idea of, like, being seduced by the dark side. Because you see... You know, they make it seem really sinister in the movies, but I think a lot more so, like, in the expanded universe, you see how, like, it's a fine line between light and dark. It's like you literally can tiptoe either way.
Oh,
you know what I mean? It's not. It's not.
It's cloudy. You know.
Yeah, it's not like you're just like, oh, I'm dark and that's it. Like in the movie, and like in Revenge of the Sith, it just seems like boom, you're seduced, you're dark. But in other ones, you see a lot of character in the expanded universe. You see characters who can do.
Yeah, especially I've been playing a lot of the Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Yeah, exactly.
And like just from the cutscenes that the trailer things or whatever they are, like you see that like it doesn't seem like the Jedi are necessarily like, because obviously they're like the police kind of thing.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
They're like that. But even the Sith don't seem like they're completely bad.
Yeah.
Because granted, they've been wiped out. They just want to come back. You know what I mean? It's not. Yeah. At least it doesn't. Obviously, higher up, it's probably more corrupt.
Yeah.
But most of them, even in the movie, they seem like they're all like. It's kind of like. You got a really Nazi vibe when they're starting up the laser.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Obviously, these people really believe in whatever they're doing. There's that whole speech Hux gives, like, these liars, traitors.
Yeah.
Same thing with Kylo. He also tells Rey, like, you want to protect these thieves and whatever and all that. So it's very much like, who is right? You know? Granted,
Well, and the interesting, what you say about that, like, who is right? And I think if they're really smart, and I hope they take it to this level, is this whole idea, the prophecy, and bringing balance to the Force, right? And I've always been interested in that because the way it's presented before in the prequel is this absolute light, absolute dark. There's nothing in between. You can't just be like an in-between Jedi or whatever. You know what I mean? But I think that's why they're fucking up. That's why they're fighting these endless wars, because it shouldn't be an absolute black and white. It should be a gray area, where like a Jedi should be able to make the judgment to say, like, this person cannot live right now. Like, this person is not, you know what I mean? Like, I get you. So like, I hope they explore that part of it, and I'm hoping that's what Luke's adventure leads him to, that where he went to fight the first Jedi Temple. Because speaking of the Old Republic, there's like this galactic timeline of videos that they have. I don't know if you've seen them before.
No, they're not canon anymore, right? I think they were.
You know what? I don't give a shit.
Well, no, I'm just saying, but like
technically, none of it's canon.
But obviously, this is what they base their stuff off of. Canon.
Yeah. Okay. So like, there's this.
Just so people in the comments know, we know it's not canon.
Yeah. Okay.
Anymore.
But point being, like, come on, like, it's canon. I don't give a shit what anybody, especially if it's 2,000 years ago. Like, they're just talking about the stuff that happened. Particularly, like, they wanted to decanonize the stuff that happened after Return of the Jedi. That's
okay.
I think that's their main focus. But yes, in the most literal terms, they wiped the canon out. But anyways, in this galactic timeline, which is from the Old Republic, they show the development of the Force and like how people discovered it and like the endless wars and all that stuff. Unfortunately, they didn't get to finish the series because it wasn't popular. But the last video was going to show when like they first discovered the Force, when monks and philosophers first discovered the Force. And like, I think that story,
so this is after Knights of the Fallen Empire. They were supposed to.
No, it's like it goes backwards. Like Knights of the.
No, I know it's backwards. But this was going to be coming out like after they had done all this already, or
no? Like they were like promotional videos that they were making, like about the Old Republic. So this was the story right before the Old Republic.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? But then, so each video that they were releasing was going further and further back in time.
Oh, okay.
So Old Republic takes place 2,000 years before, blah, 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 blah. My point is, the last one would have been when they discovered the Force. And I think that's the most important moment in the history of Star Wars, because how people interpreted it changed how the whole thing played out, how Jedis and Siths came to be. And I think they fucked up from the beginning trying to separate just complete light and complete dark. It needs to be blended. There needs to be judgment calls. And they talk about in some of these actual videos that they talk about how some of the Siths became Siths, that they were Jedis and became Siths just because the Jedis were unbending in everything. Like, they required celibacy. Like, they couldn't have a family and raise children. You know what I mean? Like, everything was just an unbending rule. and there was no room for anything else. And so just
wasn't on that alone.
Yeah, just on that alone. Like if a Jedi fell in love and he betrayed the Jedi by not following their rules, then he was outcast. He was thrown. You know what I mean? And they themselves created the Siths. Just like these Siths themselves weren't even evil as we would consider people being evil. It's just that they didn't want to follow this unbending rule of the Jedi Order. And like I hope they explore that. I hope that's what Luke is looking for, is how to balance the Force. I'm telling you,
it's not.
The first Jedi Temple. There's something there that's very fucking important.
Yeah.
No?
I don't know. I really don't know where they're going.
Yeah, we're off. That was a big tangent, but I'm just saying.
But that's really good because I don't know where they're going with it.
Yeah, that you're right. That is a good thing. So we talked about stuff that in the movie that. Okay, so the Knights of Ren. We don't know what Luke was doing. We talked about in general, like what the hell is he?
We don't know what the Resistance was doing.
Yeah.
In the meanwhile, like, granted, I mean, we see what the First Order did, but we don't know what led up. The Republic is dead.
Yeah, so that's other questions that I want answered, and I think what helped this movie and later on, if they answer it, is like, how did the First Order like rise to power and come to be?
Yeah, like I mean, because they had. I mean, granted, the Empire had very little power near the end, right? Like, I mean, or Luke was trying to like destroy it, and I mean that was his,
I mean the Empire was all powerful,
right?
But it, at least in Empire and Return of the Jedi, it seemed like one of those type of things where like if you cut the head off the snake, then that's it.
Right.
And it seemed like if you kill Sidious and Vader, like it seemed like it would just fucking fall apart. You know?
I mean, and we do know it did fall apart because they said from the ashes of the Empire came the First Republic. Or
the First Order.
First Order, thank you.
But still, it's like it doesn't really feel that way.
No, right.
It feels like really they just kind of grew out of that.
And they also created a brand new Death Star bigger than any other Death Star ever.
Yeah, and in less time, I think too, which is weird.
I mean, I'm assuming 30 years at least.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just. Well, they could have been building it, I guess, before.
Yeah.
That could be a possibility. The Star Killer
base, but I don't think they did it before.
Yeah.
You know, it had to be after Luke had taken out.
I mean, since we don't, it's one of those. Since we don't know, then it could have been. It could have been already been in production. True. So, it doesn't. I guess that doesn't really matter in the end. But I do want to know who Snoke is, and you know what I mean. And like I said, it doesn't
like, and we don't have, and it's not one of those things. Like we can look it up.
Yeah.
We have some kind of knowledge about the Knights of Ren. We looked like it's not like we didn't look it up, but we need it from the movie. Like
to solidify it, and really, I mean, because nothing is canon until it's in the movie or in
Yeah, because unlike something like Harry Potter, this came from movie first, kind of.
Yeah.
And then the books were written.
And then it's backwards. Yeah. And I know the books have a lot of different stuff than in the movies, and then sometimes you don't know. Well, like the movie is the canon.
As far as I guess.
So that's what matters. So about Snoke, and again, I don't mind that it's not in it right now because I understand that it's a serialized thing, but I think that. Let's say in episode 9, like you see like a 10-minute sequence of how Snoke came to power or something like that. That in turn will then make this movie that much better like 6 years later, because then you understand what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
it's kind of like Snape kills Dumbledore, and then you find out why he did it. You're like, oh my god.
Yeah, and it changes that moment exactly.
The fact that Sirius was his godfather, and he didn't kill that guy, shit like that.
Yeah, like having that knowledge in your head while you're watching changes the experience, and I think that's a good thing. And that's why I'm not saying it's a great movie yet. It's just a good movie for me. The other example I had, which, well, I mean, if you read the books of Lord of the Rings, you already knew what was going to happen, but in Fellowship of the Ring, Gandalf dies, right? And then that's a powerful moment. Like they're torn apart by that. That's
when they all like separate, right?
No, after that they go into the Lothlorien woods. I think that's when they meet Lady Galadriel. But like Frodo's like no, like they're all crying. It's a powerful moment.
When they're dragging him to keep going, right?
Yeah, and then of course Gandalf comes back in Two Towers. So then that changes the moment. now that when you watch it, it's not like a powerful, like, you know, you're not losing Gandalf. You know he's coming back.
Yeah, it's not the same. Obviously, definitely never going to be the same.
Yeah, so I mean, and it's not a bad thing. It's just still a great movie. I'm just saying, like, how sequels can change moments in previous films. Or just movies in general. Yeah. So, yeah, I think those questions need to be answered in the future films. I hope they answer all of them. Of course, of course. Like the one obvious one that you know has to be answered is Rey's like identity.
Right. Like yeah. I don't think she's Luke's daughter, but
let's talk about that. Yeah, let's talk about Rey. You don't. That was my first guess, but
yeah, like you know, like because a lot of people, you know, there was the twins in the I guess one of the expanded universe.
In the in the original expanded universe.
Jason
Solo, and I can't pronounce.
Yeah, so people were thinking they were gonna kind of go off that, but obviously they're not going that route.
Yeah,
because or else I'm sure Leia would know. Leia would know if she had a daughter.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, she would have said something like,
anything, you know.
See, I'll be pissed if like in episode 8, she's like, oh yeah, I had a daughter too.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah, so I don't think it's that. And it might not even. I honestly, maybe it's not even Luke's daughter. Maybe Luke found this girl at a very, like, you know, when he was getting his Jedis ready, and it happened to be around the time when Rilo was turning, so he sent her, like, he had her sent away from her family. Yeah, you know, she might not even be related. You don't have to be related to have the Force.
Of course not. But the of course the weird thing, the one moment that's really telling is when she touches Luke's lightsaber, and she kind of gets
like a Skywalker flashback. Yeah, which could just be because it happens to be the Skywalker lightsaber.
Yeah, and it's just the Force speaking to her. But I think that moment in particular is what people are considering, like, she has to be related to the Skywalkers somehow. You know what I mean? So
maybe she's like Solo's like bastard child, which I definitely don't think that's it.
Creed Part 2. Yeah. That would be bad.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's definitely not that. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. It just doesn't, like, I don't know if it's Luke's daughter. Could be.
That's the only plausible.
Because I know in the very beginning you kind of like get the maybe she's related to Han because they're finished, like they're finishing each other's sentences. Yeah, you know what I mean. But then there's
and they have a very strong chemistry with each other. They do. I don't know. I guess, well, yeah, that's the one answer that everybody wants, and I love that they don't tell you in this movie because I think it is
fucking. Luke doesn't even speak.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know who it could be, but that's another one. It's gonna change the movie. That's definitely gonna change this movie once you find out who the identity is. You know, like if it is,
and if it is no one, that'd be fine. Yeah. It just can't be Leia's daughter. Can't be Han's bastard daughter either.
No. And then, yeah, it's nothing like that.
Hey, the only option is Luke, unless Ben Obi-Wan. Well, he was already dead. But I'm just saying, like, there's nothing that would make sense except like Luke's daughter as relative wise.
You know, they might go like soap opera, like super soap opera, and like Anakin's mom had another child. And then their child had another child. like you know, I don't know. Like, we'll see. Exciting. That's exciting. I like
Anakin's mom had another child.
I'm just saying. I mean, like that's the root of the Skywalkers. Okay. So like, I'm just saying, what if? I mean, she was a slave for how many years? What if she had another child and she gave it away to or something? I don't know. That wouldn't be her because she would be too old. But like,
but I see what you mean. It would be the daughter of the daughter.
Or something. Is wow. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, things that I didn't like about now we're gonna talk about like our nitpicks. Number one.
Okay. Sounds amazing.
Of course.
The TIE fighters.
That's
God. It was.
That's so just big. Like without question.
I know, but it was just like I had to say it.
You had to throw it out there.
Like, oh my God, it was so awesome. Like just that scene with the X-wings coming out of the mist. Yeah. Just the sound. I loved it. Yeah. Loved it.
Beautiful.
The blasters,
lightsabers, perfect. The
droids. Okay.
it's just the sound is just tier 1. Like it's just it's the best fucking sound.
They can't fuck that up.
Yeah, they really can't. And they have all those sounds in stock. Like they don't have to create new sounds.
sounds were amazing though. Yeah, his were new.
Yeah, that's
fucking
true.
Fucking purring at Ray.
Really good. No, yeah, it's true. Okay, nitpicks. And here's where I think the movie messes up for me. It's not to be like a perfect movie. Okay. Number 1 for me is pacing. I like it starts slow, it builds up, and then for some fucking reason it slows down again. You know, like
I can see that.
Like I agree with you, and I think that the first half is better than the second half of the movie.
Well, like, I personally for Kylo, in general, I don't know.
I like the first half a lot, and then the second half doesn't fall off the rails, but it's like clinging for life on the rails for me.
And it's definitely because it has to leave you with the cliffhanger. So
yeah.
So I'm sure at the beginning of the next movie, boom, they're gonna drop something on us, you know.
And by the way, speaking of cliffhangers, like
they were on a cliff.
Yeah, they were on a cliff. But this is how you do cliffhangers. Like the movie feels like it's completed. I don't feel cheated. But
until you see Luke and you're like, God dang it. I was kind of just hoping they would just go into space. You know, like not show Luke. Or if they did show him, make him like just say anything.
Yeah, just
just something.
Let me hear your voice.
Just let us know. I don't know.
Luke, can you do the Joker voice real quick? Like, yeah. Wait, what were you saying? Oh yeah, for me the pacing. There's something off about it. I was surprised when the end got there. I was like, "Oh, we're at the end." Like, you know, it didn't build enough momentum for me.
And I think that has kind of to do that. Even though Kylo was kind of the main bad guy, he's obviously not to his full potential.
Yeah,
I think that has a lot to do with it.
Yeah,
because the most it could have been paced, I guess, better, but like. After his death, the death of Han, it was just kind of like...
What else is after this?
Yeah, like, and granted, they destroyed the Death Star. You know what I mean? It felt kind of like...
Star Killer.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Also, great plan. 5 minutes of talking. Let's go. Yeah. That was the quickest plan I've ever seen in my life.
Yes.
I love that.
Science... Science kind of falls off the rails for me. Like... I understand it's a sci-fi movie, but I always love... There has to be some plausibility to it for me.
Oh God!
And like when the sun is being destroyed and being absorbed,
so everything would freeze.
Like it wouldn't just start snowing. Like everybody's dead.
Right, which is weird because they did that before, but we didn't see the sun, so that means the Starkiller base would move.
Yeah. I don't know.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm just saying, like,
I want a detailed explanation of how Starkiller Base absorbed the sun.
Yeah, like,
and doesn't just freeze over.
Give me the schematics, please. If the sun is gone, the planet's done. Period. It's done. Everybody on that is dead.
I really. They shouldn't have used the word sun. They should have used like star.
Okay.
Because I think that would have been different. Because there could be multiple suns.
Yeah, but there wasn't.
As far as we see, you're right. That's what I'm saying. It would have been better just if they used the word star. You know, something I don't know. Because a star is a sun.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, right. Okay, yeah.
I mean, like the sun.
It's because
the sun is our sun from our solar system. Yes, it's not a sun. It's not the sun. The sun is the name of our sun. Okay, but obviously everybody just says sun, but a star. Okay.
But so it's a star. So I mean, like I think it would have been better if they called it that, because then it's more plausible that.
Yeah.
It's just. For whatever reason, it's just, you know...
I think they did. They probably did call it that. I don't know.
No, they called it. They said it takes the power from the sun.
Oh, okay. Well...
At least that's what the Finn said.
Okay, so my point being is just like, yeah, everybody should have died there. And like, it's one of those plausibility things
where the thermal oscillator, Mike. I think that's what it was called.
Oh, God. It's like in Star Trek, Star Trek Nemesis. I forgot which Star Trek it was. One of those... You know, one of the new generation movies, and they throw a nuke. They like nuke the sun, and the sun explodes.
And they're fine.
But they still have time to like get away. Like, no, you're not. Like, you're on that. You're dead. You're absolutely dead. And there's the same thing. It's just it's far beyond our own technology. We don't know how it would work, but just plausibility. They have to consider people's plausibility, and I'm sure there was other people sitting there going like, "Wait a minute, like no." There's
what I did like though is that once the thermal oscillator was done or whatever, right? No. Like instead of just blowing up, the sun that was inside of it just absorbed it back. Yeah, and the sun was there again. Because I was expecting that like a Death Star explosion, but we didn't get it. Yeah. Because the sun just like, oh, I'm back. Yeah. Granted, which I don't know how much science that is, but it just looked right.
That seems like far beyond any science that they have, you know.
Well, if you look at the Old Republic, to like just the movies in general, it's like, where's that science? Yeah. You know what I mean? Granted, you know, like I said, it's not necessarily strictly canon, but so it's just like, do you see what they have?
Yeah, like they were better back then, dude. Yeah. Or sometimes it's like they still have the same fucking stormtrooper thing for 10,000 years. Like we haven't improved upon this model.
Something I really want to just think about. This isn't good or bad. It's just like, so they're still clones, but they're not using them anymore.
Okay, yeah.
Because what's her name says, like, I just thought it was interesting, like, someone said, like, why don't we just get a clone army? Yeah. And he's like, no, my soldiers are blah, blah, blah. Yeah. I was just like, oh, shit, you know? So I thought they were done with that.
So they might come into play.
Yeah, I thought that shit was done, you know?
I never liked the clone thing, though, because it's one of those easy outs where it's like, oh, we just have clones. We just have millions and millions of clones.
Which is good, because, I mean, granted, I don't like that Finn killed that guy with the lightsaber so close, because it just felt too personal. Like, he knows what these, like, I don't know why, it's just one of my personal things, but like killing them with a blaster is one thing, but like he's like up in this guy with a lightsaber. It just felt wrong.
Yeah, no, I get you. You know, it did feel like you said, personal. That's the best word for it. Yeah,
because even that one he actually fought, that really badass fucking with the like spinning.
Yeah, with the spinning like electric like staff or something.
Like a police staff. Like that shit
like a baton or something.
He didn't beat him though. Han shot him.
Yeah.
But like the first guy, he just comes out, you know, out of necessity, I'm sure, whatever it is. But he just stabs him. It's like, dude, like this guy was kidnapped from birth. You know this. I don't know. I just felt
he's just like you, bro. Come on. Well, if you're gonna get killed, you gotta kill him back. True. Other stuff that I didn't like, personally, that a nitpick for me is Kylo Ren should have beat the shit out of Finn and fucking Rey. He, in my opinion, like
at least in the beginning, and then you know what, for whatever reason, the Force, you know, comes out in Rey.
I think the way I would see it, I think that Rey needed to have like one awesome Force moment, right? That like kind of shows that she can reach that potential, and I understand that he was injured. Mm-hmm. But he still should have beat the shit out of her. Like, I definitely, and then like Chewie saves her or something. And then like they escape.
I definitely like. I wouldn't have minded if Rey can keep up with him.
Yeah.
I don't think Finn should have been able to keep up with him.
No, one maneuver.
Like, granted, he was playing with him. Yeah. But Finn should not have gotten a hit in.
Yeah. No.
You know what I mean? All. It should have been one of those things where like he gets a close hit and you know he blocks it though. Like, I don't think he should have been like. Granted, like, I still love the sequence, but I just feel like it makes Kylo look so weak.
Yeah.
And then Rey should not have bested him.
Yeah. Not at all.
Like, she could have beaten him, that's fine, but it's one thing to beat someone, it's one thing to disrespect them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
it's like playing like Street Fighter or even like something like Smash Brothers, and like, you know, you're playing, you win. Yeah. And then you play and then you destroy the other person, and that's what it seemed like Rey did to Kylo.
Yeah, no, and like I said, I understand that he was injured. And again,
he was injured. Let's just go through it. He was injured. He was shot. He was bleeding out a little bit.
Yeah, and he was doing. By the way, I love that he did that because that reminded the viewer that he's injured, and it also
subtly, but like he was getting madder. He was remembering, you know,
and very real to I think what somebody would do would be like, "Fuck."
And he was very much hiding it. Yeah. He had just killed his father, which. I mean, it takes a toll, you know?
Okay, that's a very good point. I like that. That's something I hadn't considered, the emotional toll. So, okay, I can...
his rage is all out.
Yeah.
You know, and the number one thing all bad guys do to the underdog, underestimating them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And he still should have beat the shit out.
Yeah, I mean, he still should have like.
He still should have at least like just beat her, you know, like. But you know, it is what it is. Fine, Rey's powerful as shit. You know.
Well, that's the thing. She didn't even like. I wouldn't have minded if she beat him with the Force.
Yeah.
But she beat him with the blade.
Yeah. And he should have way more. Although she does have the staff.
That is true. That is true.
And she fought like if she was.
I'm actually, I didn't consider that. Yeah, that's true. And now that I'm thinking about it, how much practice against someone else with a saber has Kylo really had?
Yeah.
So that could be that.
I don't know. I was saying, like, if he was being trained by Luke and there was the next generation, they were all practicing with their blades. But then again, it's not like Luke was a savant with the blade either, you know. I could just see him just like just swing at each other and like just like
because what I will say, I really do like, because I was worried that I wasn't gonna like Kylo's fighting style and it wasn't very flashy. But it just worked really good with the blade. Yeah, it definitely looks like a heavy sword. You know what I mean? Like
a long sword.
Yeah, like the way he was like he wasn't like. I don't know. It was really cool. I mean, it kind of like plays to like how the saber is, because after watching it, like I love the saber and him more than I did prior, because I thought he looked badass, but I just wasn't sure if I was gonna like him. The saber is made from like a cracked crystal. Yeah, it's very unstable. Love that. Kind of obviously plays to his like how he is.
And I remember we did a whole.
Yeah, we didn't like the saber design.
We didn't like the saber design, but it just fits him perfectly.
It fits him, yes, lashing out, you know? Yeah. And like you said, you didn't like the lashing out, but it just works.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, not that I don't like that about his character, but...
No, you just don't like that kind of stuff in general.
Yeah, it just bothers me. But then also, the other part of it, which is on the negative, is we don't know what Han and Leia did. And until we find out, then I can understand his pain. Now, they sent him off, so we'll shift gears here, because this is really important to me. I think to me this is going to be the number one thing that's going to sell me on Kylo Ren, because I don't see Han being a bad father or absentee father. So the only option I think story-wise that makes sense to me is that he's a powerful kid. Let's say he's 9. He's really powerful, and he can't control his powers. By nature, he's a little emotional kid. That's fine. Right. Some kids are more emotional than others. Okay. And then they decide that the best thing for him is to send him to Luke for him to train. Okay. But he might just be one of those, like, it's like sending him off to military school. Like, he feels, they need to show me scenes of him as a kid feeling abandoned, talking to Luke, saying like, why don't they want me? Something like that. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want it just to be teenage angst. It needs to be rooted in a deeper like feeling of abandonment.
Right. What I think it would be kind of I don't know if it would be good, but the kind of way I can kind of see it is, I don't think they would have told him about Vader. Obviously, he probably would have felt Vader, you know what I'm saying? So he might have always felt that darkness, you know? Yeah. And then maybe somehow, you know, something happens and he finds out, you know? And maybe it was Snook's planning, you know? And that's how he convinces, like, that's how he trains him. Because if we look at it, he is completely brainwashed, as far as I can tell. Yeah. You know, so everyone is, obviously.
It feels that way, that he's brainwashed by Snook,
just that, you know, the scene where he's fighting, he just force pushes Rey into the tree. He's about to fight Finn, and he, like, in the most emotional way ever, like, yells out, "Traitor!" Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, why? Like, why does he yell it like that? You know, like, why did, like, there's
something behind it.
He truly believes something, and this is conflicting with whatever he believes. You know?
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, what you're saying is, so he's brainwashed.
Like maybe not brainwashed, but he's been, like, convinced that, you know, this is where he belongs. Yeah. You know, your grandfather was like this, you know? This is where you really belong. You have to finish his legacy.
Yeah. So, obviously, Snoke had to expose him to Vader and tell him stories. Well, yeah,
because that's the thing. Like, I don't know if, like, would you, like, because, granted, you are Vader's daughter. Would you, like, I can understand Luke telling his son or whatever, you know, because he had to fight his dad, you know. Yeah. Would Leia do that? Would Leia talk about Vader.
See, that would okay. So then I would say then that would also be a good plot thing to throw in. I think Luke would tell him as part of the full fable of
the Force
of the being seduced, but also you can always like at the end Vader came to the light. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So like I can see him using him as a fable, as a learning lesson, but maybe he just didn't consider the type of effect it would have on Kylo.
Right, but if Luke did, for example, tell him, he was good, wouldn't he see as Vader as like a traitor?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm thinking he doesn't know very much.
So he doesn't know that Vader came back to the light. You mean just from what we've seen?
Like maybe he does. I mean, because granted, who does really know? Only the Skywalkers, because there's no way the Empire.
Yeah, I mean the only person that knows is Luke.
Right.
Like the only person in the whole universe.
I'm assuming he would tell. His family. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, that's true. He probably would have. He would have told Leia. So yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense that maybe So in that case, then Luke wouldn't have told them the story. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so
he learned about it. Yeah. Maybe through seeing it, maybe he saw it himself.
Yeah.
And then that's how probably Snoke was able to sneak his way in.
Yeah. So for me personally, this whole new trilogy or however long they decide to make it is completely on Kylo Ren's shoulders because. If you don't have a great bad guy, you don't have a movie or anything. Rey is gonna be great. I already love her, and she's gonna be great.
I like Hulk, the Hulk's the bad guy, because he wasn't very fleshed out, but
he's the nice secondary bad guy. Like
the thing though, it seems like he's kind of one of my friends. She mentioned it like he's like. Watching Kylo, because it seems like they're both in the same, thing.
Yeah,
but it seems like he's kind of like Snoke maybe put him there to keep his eye on him. You know what I mean?
And remember, in New Hope, Grand Moff Tarkin, I think is his name. I always forget. Grand Moff Tarkin. He's the head person there. Like he's the head of Darth. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So there is that dynamic where. Kylo's not the ultimate, person in the First Order. I do. You know what? Also, I like about him. What's his name again?
Hux. I think it's. I can't. Let me look it up. While
the other thing I like about them and just about the First Order is that they're all young, and I think that's important. I think that's very important that they're.
Yeah. Okay.
That they're impressionable. That they could be more prone to reacting to their emotions.
Yeah, General Hux.
Okay. Yeah, I like that about him too because it's different in the New Hope where Grand Moff Tarkin is like the oldest person in the fucking Death Star, and
it works with the whole thing that like the Force and the dark side and the light side are kind of looked as a legend.
Yeah. So yeah, I can see that he's kind of like Snoke is using him as a way to maybe control Ren or at least keep tabs on him.
Yeah, keep tabs. There's no way he's controlling him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's not just to keep tabs so he can control.
Because it's Hux that goes back to Snoke and then has to go pick up Ren.
Yeah, and to bring him so he can complete his training. So yeah, to me, the whole series is relying on Kylo Ren, and it needs to be believable. For me personally, if it's just a matter of Kylo being an emotional teenager and being then tricked and mind controlled, I'm not gonna like that personally. It has to be deeper rooted. It has to be show me that Leia and Han.
Why is everyone parallel?
Luke and Leia. That Han and Leia made a mistake, although
maybe Luke made the mistake.
Yeah, or both of them. But I think they had to make the mistake. They had to misjudge the situation, and that's the only way it's gonna work. If it's one of those where it's just like. Kylo wanted to be trained and he's happy to go be trained with Luke, and then like all of a sudden he just gets brainwashed and shifted, and then just seduced by the dark side or something. Like I'm not gonna like that. That's gonna bother me personally. But
wait, you're not gonna like it if he?
I'm not gonna like it if Kylo, let's say they show him as a teenager and he was like, I can't wait to be trained by Luke. Okay. that he.
But okay, I can see that.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I think there needs to be a resistance from the beginning. He has to have a deep rooted sense of abandonment. It can't be one of those where he willingly wanted to go to be trained, and then all of a sudden he just got flipped. Because that's how Anakin felt to me. Although that's not what they were going for, but with Anakin, it just felt like you flipped a switch on him. Like it wasn't a deep rooted thing, even though it is a deep rooted thing with Anakin too, because he lost his mother. You know, I understand that, but they just didn't do it right. Hopefully, they do it right this time. And
so sorry. So I was just looking up Snoke because I don't know much about him, but this is just really interesting. Snoke was active during the Clone Wars and had several apprentices before he became invested in the Skywalker bloodline.
Okay.
Believing General Leia Organa and Han Solo's son Ben, the grandson of Darth Vader, had the right balance of dark and light sides of the Force in him.
Okay.
It just sounds like
he's a good person almost like. But I mean, I know that's the wiki.
This is the wiki. I don't know.
But where did they get that information from?
The Force Awakens novel?
Okay. Yeah, like I said, the novel is different too. I was reading that article about that they have a lot of stuff in there
that's different.
That's not only like this is new stuff, but also different from like the movie. Okay. So I don't know how much we can rely on that.
Right.
But
I just thought that was pretty like that's.
All right, but yeah. Anyways, for me, those are my nitpicks. Not huge things, but
yeah, there wasn't anything like bad. Like even like you didn't like the Kylo angst. I was very indifferent about it.
Yeah.
It did. You were able to like. Excuse me. I was able to like pick up on it though.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like we're joking after we got out of the theater. It's like, can we stop training and like angsty like you know how we can solve this problem? Stop training like that. Stop training them like, and then we'll be good. You know,
just let them live. Don't let them live their life because then they just go with Snoke. But
yeah.
Just don't let them go with Snoke.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just stop them from going from the dark side. Is it not that? Isn't it that easy? You know, which it isn't, obviously.
Yeah, but you know, it's a line that they have to teeter. Mm-hmm. But to me, it's just like, why do we keep training all these whiners that like have daddy issues? Let's not train these guys.
Though. That's a weird thing. It seems like it, and I hope it isn't though.
He has daddy issues. Fuck that. He has daddy issues. Clearly, he killed his daddy. Yeah. That's the ultimate daddy issues. But yeah, what do you guys think? We're gonna move on now from Star Wars. Mm-hmm. No more spoilers. We got a couple.
We'll sprinkle them in there.
Yeah. We got a couple more topics, but we're gonna run through them pretty quick.
Yeah, these are a little bit older. We wanted to talk about them last week, but we kind of dedicated last week
just to Star Wars. So that's fine.
Yeah.
All right. First, Smash Brothers final DLC characters.
There's 3 of them, and they had a final update for that, I guess. And so as we knew earlier this year, we got to see that Cloud was going to be in it, which is crazy.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone was expecting that.
That was very unexpected.
He was actually released the day of the Nintendo Direct.
Okay. Yeah.
So really cool, awesome character. I wish there was more of his music in it. As far as I can tell, there's only 2 songs.
Okay.
And then instead of having like the meteor, I think it's the meteor. Yeah, the meteor symbol. It has FF.
Okay.
For his when the character is like, I was just like,
that's it.
Like really, like
that's all we get.
Come on,
come on, man.
But all right. So
we're getting Bayonetta.
We're getting Bayonetta and Corrin.
Okay.
Which I mean maybe I guess Japan really likes Fire Emblem.
Like
I could care less,
dude. Like literally have never met anybody who's played Fire Emblem.
I wouldn't have minded this character if the last if Roy, Marth, and Lucina weren't the exact same character.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like just leave one.
Yeah.
Just have one of them. And
so you think this one's just gonna be like a skin over, basically?
No, it's not. That's the thing, though. That's the thing. It's not a skin over.
Yeah.
But because they have so many, they have 5, 6 sword users.
Yeah.
Granted, Ike plays quite differently from Marth.
Yeah.
Then you have Robin, who plays quite differently. She's whatever. And then you have this character, very different.
Yeah.
But it's just like the fact that you have 3 almost the same character.
Yeah, it's true.
Very bothersome that they're adding another one.
Yeah. Especially because it's a DLC. I mean, they're adding the DLC. It's like, come on, man, let's change it up.
Honestly, this last character batch has been with well, actually all the DLC characters except maybe Lucas and Roy.
Yeah.
Really cool, like new things into Smash. Like Ryu has he could do his Hadouken. You know, you can do his
Ryu
uppercut.
is fun as shit to use because like you could do like legit Street Fighter combos. You know.
Corrin actually has some really cool stuff specific to her. Yeah. Looks awesome. I don't like her still though. And then Bayonetta, which is too sexy. People were saying too sexy for Smash. You know.
Yeah. Well, she might still be. Yeah. You know, it's funny because this was one of the first characters we brought up too back in like when they did DLC. It's like it makes perfect sense.
She has the game.
They're only on Nintendo right now. Like why not? And there you go.
She's the final character. The first look you get of her is the Bayonetta 2 look, short hair. I like both of her looks.
I like the longer hair better.
Yeah,
personally. But she looks great and she looks like a beast too.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like these characters like that they brought out more recently, just like wow, like they really went in on them. You know, Corrin, I don't know anything about her in game, so I can't really say much. But like Cloud, he has his limit breaks. It just looks good. This was Bayonetta and Ryu especially, like they're actually making them like, because it's one of those things you didn't really play as Cloud playing like Slash and stuff. So I mean, granted his moves and stuff sound good if they sound like the game, but Bayonetta and Ryu, it's like they play like you play them in their game almost. You know?
And they're very different from any other character in the game. Like I can't think of another character like Ryu, maybe Little Mac, but he's way less mobile than Ryu is. You know what I mean? And then Bayonetta. Well, he's faster.
Just his air is horrible. His air recovery is horrible.
That's what I meant. Like like he has no air attack at all. You know, but on the ground he's fast as hell.
And then Bayonetta just her smash attacks look overpowered.
Yeah, the guns everywhere.
Guns
are being fired off everywhere.
The best thing is her witch time. Which you got a little look at that.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't seen the trailer, which I'm sure a lot of you have, if you haven't, if you're not a Smash fan, just check it out.
Yeah.
She has a counter, which a lot of characters have counters.
Yeah.
She has two versions of it. If she times it just a little bit off, she takes less damage, but still counters, and it's immediate. The second counter, probably the most OP thing in the game when it comes out.
In any video game ever made.
Fighting game, yes.
Yeah.
When you hit her and she times the down B just right, you go into witch time, which if you know the game slows down time around you.
Yeah.
Granted, this one only slows down that person.
Yeah.
So what you see is a Pikachu using its Skull Bash. So he comes in.
So Pikachu's going here. We'll recreate it. Pikachu's flying in.
Bayonetta's right here.
Counters
like right when she's about to get hit. Right? So he's slowing down. She's just over here like, what's up? She has the wind bag and pushes him more off stage. And Pikachu, it seems like he kept that momentum and completely flew off.
Yeah, and then once he's out of waste time,
he's gone.
Like, wow, dude, that could be the most frustrating thing. Yeah. If somebody just masters that timing, you can do it every time. Yeah.
There was another really good combo where she did witch time. She did like a couple air hits into a combo, got him near the edge, and used her, I believe it's her down B, which brings a giant boot. They're still in witch time. They get spiked straight down off stage.
Oh my God.
It was insane.
You know she's not going to be competitive already.
She's going to be the only character they use.
For real.
So, but like I said, like it's really like they're really like went in with these characters.
Yeah, I'm glad what they, Nintendo has done a really great job in general with their DLC. Like this is how you do DLC, because they're offering something very fresh and new to the roster. So I mean, like you said, we don't know about Corrin yet.
I don't know. I mean, I saw her and she looks cool. I just don't know.
Yeah.
Compared to her game, how she is.
Yeah.
Because she has some cool stuff. She has this one move where she pokes the ground and can stay stuck. But at the same time, it's kind of like a grab.
Yeah.
So she could throw it out and stick you with her, so you're stuck in the animation with her. So some cool stuff too. It's just like I don't know much about her, so.
Yeah, but I mean, it's been a good season for the Smash Brothers DLC, and hopefully next one they do the
well, this is the last DLC characters.
Yeah, I mean,
there's no more.
We gotta wait another 4 years.
Yeah, no more Snake. So the Snake, the dream for Snake is dead.
I know, man.
He was cool.
I wish they just made like a 90 like 90 roster for Smash Brothers.
Just every single old character ever.
Yeah, just put them all in there. Do like the Ultimate Mortal Kombat where they put every character between 1 through 3. It was perfect. But yeah, anyways, moving on to Destiny. When I read this, I laughed so much because I knew it was coming. We all knew it was coming.
Okay.
And it's not as okay. They're charging what, 25?
I believe it was 25.
So they're allowing you now to pay $25
to level your character to 25.
To level your character to 25. It might have been $20. I'll take your word for it. 25. Now, we've talked about this with the DLC, where it's like the difference between just cosmetics and paying to win, and this is bordering paying to win.
No. This is pay to win, but like in the worst possible way. You know, because it's not getting you anywhere. You're literally like you could start the game and be at the same level within the same day if you wanted to.
Yeah. And either way, like you get 25 doesn't mean you got any of the guns or you know what I mean. It doesn't mean anything. But people will pay it.
Yep.
And when they first introduced these other things, which was the
emotes,
and the
events for like extra quests for events.
When they introduced those things, people were like, okay, it's fine. As long as they only do this, it's fine. This is the next step.
It's $30. I'm sorry.
Oh my god. That's $30.
And I love Destiny.
I know you do.
And I love Destiny. Just so you guys know, I fucking love Destiny.
Yeah, people who watch the podcast know you love Destiny. Yeah. But I just think it's funny because all this time people have been defending it mostly because Bungie, but money talks, man, and like this is bad. Yeah,
I mean it's definitely one of those things. Like they said they wouldn't do anything consumable, but when you go back and you read it, nothing consumable in the test ever shop. This technically, like, you know, this is one of those fucking stupid technicalities things. This isn't in the test shop. This is in the Xbox store.
Yeah.
You don't use. I don't think you use silver to buy this.
Okay.
So they're still fucking.
They're following their own arbitrary rules that they set up.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It's fucking retarded, and it's just the worst thing is like some kid is gonna get Destiny for Christmas and is gonna buy this. It's like you don't need this.
Yeah.
This is literally. This is nothing.
Yeah, because like you said, you can get that level within a day.
Let me just do it, like, because it comes with okay, so it comes with a 25. Like you have to buy it for each character too. Like if you wanted to do it. So this one's for the hunter.
Yeah.
You get a subclass boost, which I'm assuming.
I'm sorry, I'm just looking at the stars.
Yeah.
You know how they rate them from 1 to 5? Like people rated this 1.5.
Because the emotes and stuff, and even like the extra quest, like. None of that is like advancing you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not really giving you like there was an event recently where some people got mad because you were able to buy a book that tracked your records and it gave you rewards.
Yeah.
The rewards, all of it was like stuff that literally had nothing but advantages to the racing itself.
Yeah.
But you could buy them for free you could buy something very similar from one of the characters in the game for in-game money.
Okay.
So without having to spend money, right? So I was just like, why are you guys mad about that? Like it gives you an extra speeder, which was the same as any other ones you can get.
Yeah.
And you actually get one for free. Granted, it doesn't look like it, but it has the same stats pretty much.
Yeah.
You know? So that kind of stuff is like, dude, like
who cares?
Right. The one thing though, during this event, you were able to get the highest level gear, but you didn't have to buy the book.
Mm-hmm.
The book was $10. You did not have to buy that book to get the higher level gear. The stuff
so complicated.
Yeah, exactly. It's just but so the gear you got from the book itself, like the rewards, none of it was any better than anything you could get for free.
Yeah, okay.
You know?
Okay.
So people were mad about it. That I don't see a reason to be mad about.
Yeah.
You know, that's if people want to spend more money to be able to get these things. Like I did buy one of the Sparrow, like it was a random Sparrow thing. Like I gave you one of the random Sparrows because I was like, they look sick as fuck. You know? So I did buy one of those, and I did buy the Michael Jackson emote when it came out. I was almost
Thriller, I saw that one. That was good.
They have the Tonto jump on it.
Yeah.
I almost bought that, but it wasn't good enough for me. Like it's good, but like the Michael Jackson one was amazing.
Yeah,
you know?
that one is good.
So I bought that, but this is just fucking ridiculous because it gives you I wonder if the subclass boost is it just like an experience boost, because it takes forever to. I mean, I understand it takes forever, but it doesn't seem worth it.
Yeah,
I don't understand why they're selling. I think the Taken King Collector's Edition right now is $30.
Yeah,
or not the Legendary Edition.
The Legendary Edition. And it was during like
Christmas
time. I don't know if they changed that, but yeah,
this is. I mean, I'm still playing the game. Granted, I haven't played Xbox in a while, but I'm just like. This is the thing. This is like, dude. This is like.
See, but
this is scummy.
Yeah, that's what I'm. That's my point. That's why I like the story. That's why I wanted to talk about it in general. It's just that. Yeah, I mean, like.
And I went so off.
Yeah, we're just inch by inch. That's what gaming is going toward. And is that what you guys want? Like, because if it's not, then make sure to not ever buy anything like this.
Yeah, like I mean, like I said, like I did buy the emotes and stuff, but I was like. If you were still playing Destiny a lot, tell me you wouldn't buy the Michael Jackson emote.
Oh, I would have. Yeah, no, I would have bought. I would have. If I were playing Destiny, if they would have let me buy the guns, I would have been playing Destiny. Yeah, you know what I mean?
But no one wants to. Yeah. No one wants to be able to do that.
See, I would have ruined it for everybody because then I would have been condoning it. You know what I mean? But
it's kind of like, I mean, granted, Black Ops 3, the guns don't really matter. But in Advanced Warfare, were you able to buy supply drops? And
that was terrible. Because the guns were better. You know, like the legendary guns you would get were better.
The ASM-1 Speakeasy,
the Bow Inferno, and the Obsidian Steel, like Obsidian Steed. Those affected how I played. That shit pissed me off every time. It would piss me off when somebody had.
You almost wanted to put down a.
I did, just because like I don't want to be fucking killed by this gun anymore, and.
Unless I have it.
Now see, like you said, this ironically doesn't help the player that much. But the thing is, if they're willing to do this, next thing you know, they say, well, here's $50. Here, $50, 30. Get to level 30, and here's some like 20 guns and shit. Yeah, exactly. Then you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah. You know, the thing that it's so because. So you're paying $30 to get to level 25 to play the Taken King to miss out on over half of the game.
Yeah.
That's what you're paying the $30 for. And I wish that we could have talked about this last week.
Yeah.
So people wouldn't, hopefully no one bought this. And if you're seeing this now, don't buy it. Just play the game.
Don't buy it.
Just play the game.
Because then they're gonna be happy about how much profit they make. Then they're gonna sell another package.
Is it hypocritical because I buy the other stuff?
It is hypocritical, but the thing is, like, see, I'm on your side where it's like, I don't mind the companies doing like emotes and like skins because I understand that they need to make money. You know what I mean? I know they made their money, but it's a business. Yeah. The problem is, this always breeds the next step. Like it'd be fine if they could just sell those and then that's it, but that never happens. True. It's always like. They sell this, and then they start selling other chunks and shit.
But I hope this doesn't sell well, and they see that, and they just keep doing like the emotes.
Yeah, that's the number one hope. Just looking at that, how low a ratings it got.
Yeah, I mean it's only 400 people.
So that means a lot of people didn't even look at it. You know, so maybe hopefully people didn't buy it, and it will dissuade them for trying different stuff.
Look at the collector's edition of the Taken King also got a low rating.
Yeah,
but I thought it was great.
But this is important for all other games because people are watching. Developers are watching what other developers are doing. And if they see that Bungie's successful doing it, they're going to do it too.
Fucking Halo's doing it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's the same kind of thing. And it actually, I mean, granted, it only helps out for Warzone, thank God.
But here's the counter to that, at least, is that you're getting like 10 free DLC maps.
That is true.
So,
but a lot of people, because a lot of people are like saying the same thing. It's like those, like Forge, all that shit should have been in the game when it came out.
Done.
Same thing with Destiny when it came out. Most of the Taken King should have probably been in Destiny. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I agree with that. So yeah, I mean, don't buy it, guys. Don't buy it because. You can literally do that in a day to get to 25. Like, well, I mean, when I say a day, I mean like 24 hours.
It doesn't take very long.
Yeah,
like you don't save time by doing it.
Of course, a day is 24 hours. What I mean is like 24 hours of game time, not just like
you know. I remember back when the first raid came out, people would like delete a character and get them all the way back to level 25 just to be able to do the raid again to get rewards within the same week, you know? They would do that multiple times. So it's not very hard.
Yeah, I mean, I remember being I think like level 18 just beating the main story, and that took like 12, 15 hours or something.
Yeah. Oh, I guess, yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It depends. Well, obviously now if you have all the, you just fly through it.
Well, yeah, no, I'm just saying, like, yeah.
Yeah, and you do it in 24 hours. 24 hours.
It's not worth the $30. If this was $5, maybe.
Yeah.
But I still wouldn't suggest you buying it.
Yeah, it's still like, come on, man. All right. Anyways, last topic of the week. Next week we're gonna do. I believe we'll do, since it's the end of the year. We'll do a bunch of like top 5 type stuff.
Did you want to talk about 300K in this podcast?
Sure. I mean,
because we just hit it, so
yeah, I
wasn't sure if you wanted to do it.
Yeah, before we get to that, we just hit 300K. I did a commentary. That's why.
Oh, you did? Okay, my bad.
I did a commentary.
Yeah, but
for the giveaway,
we weren't at 300K.
Yeah. Now we're officially at 300K. Thank you guys so much. Javi wants to thank you too.
Yes, it was. I mean, granted, I haven't been super involved like I was the first year when I was doing this.
You're the face of GOP though.
But it is cool to see that we've been growing like exponentially since when I started helping.
Damn, when you started, we had 30K. Now we have 10 times as much. Yeah. That's all you.
On me. No, we're at 15K, dude. When I started, like the first month, we were at 30.
Oh, like stick of truth. Yeah. Damn, it feels like so long ago. Yeah. You know, it's crazy. It is like just thinking about that number is just like 300,000 people.
Yeah, I was here. I started helping you out a lot at 15,000.
15,000.
We got to 30,000. We're like, yeah.
And I remember even back then, like, just to pitch it to him, it was like, damn, 15,000, that's a lot of people.
and I love that he was trying to pitch it to me, and I'm like, dude, like, I'm on YouTube all the time. Yeah, I know I work. Yeah, that's shit, you know? Like, no, like, it's I mean, obviously it's not shit when you're the one with it, but when you're looking at the, like, other ones, you're like, come on, bro. Like,
I know, but that's the good thing is you always gotta keep the positive attitude. So, like, 15 felt a lot to us, and then 30 felt a lot, and then it always feels like, wow, I never thought reached that amount, but we're very excited to be at 300K, and we cannot thank you guys enough.
We missed the picture by one. Yeah, we was trying to get a picture. We missed it. Did you post it?
I did. I tweeted it out. Yeah, I missed it by one. We're looking at like the subs refreshing, and then when I refreshed it, it was at 300,001.
Yeah, and it sucks because we were talking, and it was like a 209,900 something.
299,975.
Yeah, it wasn't that close. And then we started talking for a little bit, and he checked again, and he's like, "No!"
Damn, it would have been nice to get 300K. Yeah. So, yeah, I just want to thank you guys a lot. I mean, I know not everybody watches the podcast, but thank you guys who watch the game movies too, and hopefully our podcast. I mean, we just love doing it. It doesn't matter if only 3 of you watch. Like, we like doing it. So thank you guys so much. And, well, I guess the giveaways, we already did it by the time.
If you don't know, go on Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter and Instagram, we're doing it. You might have, I'm going to post this Sunday morning, so you still have time to get to the giveaway. So we're doing it Sunday night. All right, anyways. So next week we'll probably do a bunch of top 5s, top 10s, top 3s, whatever we decide to do. But we want to kind of kick it off this week, discussing the biggest surprise of 2015 as far as games, like the biggest game surprise.
Yeah, and that's like a very disappointing question because not a lot to surprise. Mostly disappointments, actually.
Yeah, there is a lot of AAAs that really let us down overall. But for me, it was an obvious choice for me. So this is biggest surprise, something that we didn't expect. Like, obviously, there's a bunch of really good games. Yeah. But we're going by something that at least we didn't think. Yeah, like it wasn't in my mind at all that was going to be a good game. They didn't even know, for me personally, I didn't even know this game existed.
Okay.
You know.
Which game is yours? Yeah.
Okay, mine's is Rocket League. I think.
Oh, yes.
And I think that's
like everyone's big surprise.
Yeah. No, because it became a phenomenon, but I think we caught it like in the first week when people started playing, and it was just like, man, this looks like a lot of fun. And we played it a lot. Yeah, I know. I can't fly around like anybody, but the
Kenobi game or whatever his name is.
No, yeah, the guy who hits the crazy goal. No, yeah. There's a big community around it now. It's a sick game. If you haven't played it, I highly recommend this
game. If you
game.
like FIFA and Need for Speed, or if you like FIFA and Burnout, get this game.
Yeah, it's just like it's soccer with cars. That's it. RC cars, and it's one of the simplest designs, and so the gameplay is so deep because
it's like Smash.
It's easy to play, hard to master.
It's like Smash.
Just like Smash, just like every great Nintendo game. It's easy to play, hard to master, and like
no story or anything. Just a multiplayer, really fun co-op, local co-op. It has all that. It's really good.
And it one of those. It's really fun to play with friends because it's just all these crazy moments happen. It's one of those games where you guys
I think the best parts are the saves. Honestly, the goals aren't like the most. It's like when you save the ball.
Yeah, when you just like come flying in and like knock it out. That's true. So yeah, that's my biggest surprise of the year. What about you?
My biggest surprise, my biggest surprise, what the hell, was, granted, I kind of was hoping it was gonna be good, but the Old Blood, Wolfenstein,
Old Blood, yeah, that's a really good game. But then Wolfenstein New Order was
really good, but this was a standalone DLC,
which usually suck.
Just just stuff like that isn't usually that good, and it was so good.
Yeah, and I almost worth the money.
Yeah, I think it was like 20.
Yeah, 20, and you got like maybe like 6-7 hours of just main story content.
Yeah, it was. I mean, the story was ridiculous. It's Wolfenstein though. Yeah. So if you don't like that, don't play Wolfenstein. But Nazi zombies. Yeah. Freaking! Oh my god, it was so good. I almost like it more than the Wolfenstein New Order.
Yeah, the Old Blood had a lot more humor to it, which I enjoyed.
But it definitely did take itself it took itself seriously, but not. You know, it was, I don't know.
It took itself seriously to the point of parody because like how can you take Nazi zombies seriously? Like no, it was. I agree with you. That one was really good. That was a bordering surprise to me because I get what you're saying because DLCs like 99% of the time the DLC stuff is just mediocre. Mm-hmm. This one went well over to the point where it's better than New Order, which I agree with that. So yeah, it was a surprise in that sense. But then in the other sense, it's Wolfenstein New Order was good.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. But I think for me though, Wolfenstein was also a big surprise.
Yeah, that's true. That came out last year though, I think. And then the DLC came out this year.
I think we're right.
Yeah, but yeah, either way, New Blood came out this year.
Yeah, and I think this has been a year of like a lot of disappointing games. The Order wasn't very good.
Yeah. The Battlefront was okay. The Siege, Halo 5. Okay.
It was okay.
I love the multiplayer, but overall the package was okay. Yeah, it was a year. Yeah, the top 10 disappointments is gonna be lit.
A lot of games were good though. Like Assassin's Creed.
That was good. Tomb Raider was good.
The Tomb Raider, the Batman DLCs were good.
Yeah, Arkham Knight came out this year too. Yeah.
Oh, it did. Okay,
it came out in June. The DLCs sucked for Batman.
Oh, okay.
But this last DLC of the Season of Infamy was really good.
And then the game was good.
The game was good, although it was a disappointment for a lot of people because there weren't any boss battles. They were all tank battles, which I agree to. All right, anyways, guys, that's the biggest surprise of the year for us. We'll be back next week. We'll do a lot of top list type things. I'm guessing maybe a couple at least. No. All right, guys. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.
There's gonna be no top list. Everything was bad. Like there's gonna be like